Every year, Hugo Boss hires Holiday Image to make over their New York store for Christmas. The store is pushing for an edgy approach to holiday decor to fit their trendy location in downtown's meatpacking district. Heading up the project for Holiday Image Inc. is designer Josh Darling. Josh's specialty is eye-grabbing, detail-rich window displays. He heads to Hugo Boss to get a better idea of exactly what the client is looking for.
Hey Lisa, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Did you have any idea on what you wanted to do in each window?
I'm thinking I would love to see snow, like some kind of scene. Maybe like these little dolls interact with each other or movements.
Okay.
But I want some kind of twist. People push the boundaries here, so I want to do something unexpected.
Something a little edgy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like different woodland creatures.
Okay.
I know that sounds kind of funny, but I just think that would be cute, and it might be even neat if they wore like little outfits. Okay. Maybe they could be wearing Hugo Boss.
Okay, that would be cool.
Hugo Boss.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna head back to Holiday Image, and I'll get back to you as soon as I have some renderings.
That sounds good.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
Back at the offices, designer Josh Darling is finalizing the Hugo Boss window design. He's taken inspiration from the old lady who lived in a shoe, but has given it a modern twist using a real Hugo Boss boot from this year's line.
I came up with the idea of doing the little old lady that lived in a shoe, but instead of it being like a nice little flat shoe, she's got a nice big heel, she's got some metal studs. It's like modern day little old lady that lived in a shoe.
Josh's design will transform the window into a fairy tale world. The old lady and her boot are featured in the left-hand window, and motorized animals dressed in mini Hugo Boss outfits sliding down the hill give the right side window some pizzazz. Josh hired a local sculptor to make the snowbanks and 7-foot-tall boot out of expandable foam. In the meantime, he gets to work on the inhabitants of his magical winter wonderland.
They come in two parts, so you've got your stuffed animal and you've got your doll.
Each figure is half stuffed animal, half doll. Josh must first decapitate the dolls, snip the heads off the stuffed animals, and then he adds the animal parts to the doll with a hot glue gun.
I'm beheading stuffed animals. After people see this, someone might report me, and I might be going to see a therapist. But it's a little stress relieving because anyone makes you mad, just picture them as a doll and pop off their head.
Once Josh has finished creating his woodland creatures, they will be packed up and sent to a costume designer. Working from Hugo Boss's lookbook, the designer will tailor-make outfits for each animal. She will follow Hugo Boss patterns from their actual clothing line, but she'll scale them down to fit the tiny dolls. And Josh is hard at work with the Hugo Boss project. For the past few weeks, the sculptor has been carving both the boot and snowbank out of expansive foam. They are now complete and ready for the next stage. To add another dimension to his window display, Josh is building small motors and installing them into the snowbank. He'll use these motors to animate his woodland creatures.
I'm cutting a hole into the snowbank so that I can put a motor in here.
He cuts holes in the foam to allow the mechanical arms to protrude. He'll then tuck each motor inside the snowbank.
I'm really big into animation. I have a lot of animated figures of my own at home, so I feel like I'm bringing that to the Hugo Boss windows because normally Holiday Image wouldn't do something animated. It's kind of my own special thing.
Josh works on the sledding hill for the right-hand window.
This is the sledding hill. There will be a belt in there which will have 4 sleds that are going to go up and down.
He'll keep the sleds attached through the turns, using a hinge to allow them to bend in half.
It goes here, and then when it comes down here, it bends, comes back up like this, and then re-bends to come back down.
To add some excitement, the woodland creatures have come back from the clothing designer.
What do you got? Hugo Boss dolls. These are our forest creatures in Hugo Boss clothing.
So these guys are going to be having snowball fights?
Yes.
It's best dressed dolls I've ever seen.
Yeah, they are the best dressed dolls I think that have ever been seen.
Josh is rushing to finish the snowbanks.
It would have been nice if I had a little more time, so I had more time to make sure everything worked fine and worked out all the kinks, but Working under pressure isn't always a bad thing. It kind of gets things done faster.
With the trucks loaded, Josh and the team head to Hugo Boss for the overnight install. Everyone has to pitch in getting the snowbanks off the truck because Hugo Boss has to be dressed for Christmas by tomorrow.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
Oh my God. God, it's adorable. It looks just like the real thing.
I know. That's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
The snowbanks had to be split in half to be fit onto the trucks. The first job of the night is to put them back together. Josh and Shannon must carefully rejoin the two halves and hide the seams using caulk, paint, and fake snow. They have to fix the joint now because once it's pushed against the window, there's no going back. With the seam hidden and the trees fluffed, Josh checks the motors that move his woodland characters.
We haven't turned any animation on. I'm saving that till last. Fingers crossed that everything's gonna work well.
Josh and Shannon are still hard at work at Hugo Boss.
But we have a small team and everyone understands what needs to be done and what it's supposed to look like when we're done.
Now that they've got both snowbanks in the windows, it's time to add the gigantic boot, packed with LED lights for added punch.
It's awesome.
It looks so good.
So cool. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like the color lights, but it's perfect.
Yeah.
If it were white, it would just kind of blend in.
Shannon's getting started on the sledding hill. She mounts each tiny sled with a screw and washer drilled through the belt.
Oh my God, it's perfect. Thank God for those hinges.
Next, they have the fun job of attaching the sled's riders.
This one's gonna have its little arms up and it's holding the sled with its big fat teeth.
With the sleds attached, the team lifts the conveyor belt into position to check whether it fits as planned.
It's clearing the motor.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
With the clock ticking, Josh adds the finishing touches.
Everything turned out the way I wanted it and pretty much the way it looked in my design. So I'm extremely happy with how it turned out.
The following evening, Matthew comes back along with Lisa to enjoy the windows.
This is great, Matthew.
It's cute, isn't it?
I love this guy. He's like stealing the snowman's arm.
We love it. It's so festive. It stopped us when we were walking by. We love the lights and all the little animals. It's really nice, and the characters are very stylish. I was noticing, you know, the purple outfits and stuff like that. That's our favorite color.